Time to eat apple pancakes. Here are the ingredients and the equipment you'll need. First, we'll measure out the dry ingredients into a bowl. Here I'm going to measure out the store brand pancake mix, and you can use any kind of pancake mix really. And I'll measure that into the bowl and I'll set that aside. And then we'll start on the fruit. I'm going to peel the apple completely and I'll leave it whole. Here, of course, you could use other fruit like pears would work. Blueberries is a traditional pancake fruit. Bananas also work. Anything that you can use to get fruit into the children, I like to think of as a good recipe. Once we get the apple completely peeled, we're going to go ahead and grate it. I use a box grater, as you'll see here in a moment, but you could also use a handheld grater, and if you don't have either, you could always just cut the apple into small pieces. Here you'll want to be careful of your fingers, whether you're grating or cutting with a knife, and if kids are doing this, they should have an adult close by to help out. Once we get the apple completely grated, we're going to add it to the dry ingredients and stir it up, as you'll see here in a moment. And I like to use the box grater here to just scoop it right into the dry ingredients. But you could also just pick it up with a knife or slide it over from the cutting board. Then I mix this together, and the key here is to coat the fruit with the dry mix so that it won't burn when it touches the hot pan when you're cooking it, as you'll see here in a moment. Once we have this completely mixed, we'll add here the water. Now you could also use a scratch recipe, in which case you would just mix the dry ingredients first, add the fruit, and then add the wet ingredients and stir the same way. So it would be basically the same recipe. This is a quick recipe with the store-bought mix. The scratch recipe might be for something on the weekend breakfast. Once we have it completely mixed, we'll spray a little bit of cooking spray onto a medium-high heated frying pan or griddle, and then measure out about a quarter cup of mix for each pancake. And let them spread out on the pan and maybe add a little bit more pancake mix to get them all to be about the same size. And then we'll let this cook for about 3 or 4 minutes, but you'll want to check it regularly. Here I'm just sort of separating out the pancakes so that they won't stick when I turn them. And once they've started to cook, you'll want to check underneath to see if they're brown, and if they've turned brown, you'll flip them like so. And then you'll cook them for about the same amount of time on the other side. Again, you'll get the hang of this with some repetition, and you want to check underneath to make sure that they're done on the bottom side. Once they're completely cooked, you just put them on a plate and serve them with butter or margarine, if you like, and with syrup. Time to eat apple pancakes.